as you can see, this guy's hitting over 100K. So that's $100,000 in a single month, and Barry's 18 years old. And what's crazy is I've literally watched this happen in real time.
I just started posting hella volume. I thought volume was the key here. We hopped on a call and then he told me, I remember this, stop posting for a second and tell me who the model actually is. I was treating it like a machine instead of like an actual brand.
Like, so many guys online are just like, yo, post, a bunch. It works to a point. Like, it probably is what got you to 10K per month, right? But like scaling past that, it's not the same. So I got Barry on the call here, someone I want to introduce to all of you who have watched literally grow from basically nothing to something. And he's accomplished something that most grown adults with years of experience will never even hit. Barry, pull up the dashboard real quick, bro.
No, I got you, bro.
Okay, so as you can see, this guy's hitting over 100K net. And Barry, how old are you, bro, for everybody watching?
I'm 18, bro.
18. So that's $100,000 in a single month. And Barry's 18 years old. And what's crazy is I've literally watched this happen in real time because we've been working together since before Fantra even existed. And, obviously isn't what it is now. Barry, brother, take everyone back to when we first met, like when we first reached out to each other on Instagram. Where were you at when we first connected?
Yeah, well, first of all, nice to meet you all, Griffin's community. As you said, I'm Barry. And yeah, so at the moment, I was making around 10K and I had only one creator. And, for some of you, that may sound great. But the thing about me is that I'm always going to want more. You know what I'm saying? So I just kept checking the stats and it didn't really change for a while. It was like kind of stagnant, so I didn't really know what else to do.
Right. And yeah, like you said, you weren't broke, bro. You weren't a beginner. You were doing 10K a month, and which a lot of people in this space would never even be able to hit 10K a month. But you did that very quickly, like within a matter of like, what was it, 2 months of you starting OFM?
Almost 3 months, yeah.
Yeah, almost 3 months. But for you, like you said, you always wanted fucking more. Like the ceiling was right there.
Yeah.
But I feel like for you couldn't really figure out what it would take to get to those 20K a month.
Mm-hmm.
Like, was that a big problem of like getting past that first 10K?
Yeah, it was, bro, 100%. I remember even calling you and like working together behind the scenes. And I asked you, why am I not scaling these models, And I'm literally doing everything correctly. At least that's what I thought. And until we hopped on a call and you just literally run me over and you said, I'm not broken. It's actually the model, So, and as Griffin always says, in letter, like you shouldn't hire a model that's not good quality. I always try to sign a good one, a high quality, which is not that hard, to be honest.
Yeah. Like once you identify exactly what an A-tier quality model is, it's not a difficult thing to continually get them. Because A-tier quality models all out of the times, which was your case when we like scaled like to like 3 or 4 models, was referrals. We had one girl who
and also like when you scale one model and you already show them that you already have experience, that just compounds from there.
Exactly. And then their friends, yeah, 100%. Exactly. So here's what I want to get into for everybody watching, because I think this is pretty important. When I first started working with you, I remember you had a belief, and I see this in pretty much every single agency owner stuck at this level, and it was costing you money every single day without you knowing it. Barry, why don't you explain? I think you know exactly what was going on.
I know, yeah. So I think as everyone in the community, beginners, I just started posting hella volume. I thought volume was the key here. And I was like posting 10 TikToks a day, 10 IG Reels, and which is what other fake OFM gurus actually preach nowadays a lot, And I remember after that week, I still had the exact same results, even worse. So after that, bro, I was just exhausted, burnt out, and that's when I reached out to you.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it's a fucking trap. Like so many, as you just said, like so many guys online are just like, yo, post, a bunch, and like everyone in the space is taught that to go harder, grind more, do more hours, and like it works to a point. Like it probably is what got you to 10K per month, right? But like scaling past that, it's not the same. And what we did, and what I think 100% like believe, was the shift that took you from 10 to eventually 50K months later before you even officially joined Fantra. Instead of volume, our focus went towards the other direction. explain to everyone what that was and what that looked like.
So yeah, basically, we hopped on a call, and then you told me, I remember this, stop posting for a second and tell me who the model actually is. And at that point, I had no fucking idea what to say. I didn't have an answer, and that's when I realized that I was treating it like a machine instead of like an actual brand. And I think that shift is what actually took it all to the space.
Yeah, I mean that's the most important thing, and this is something that I talk about, and people don't implement it.
Yeah.
Building a persona, building a brand around each and every single one of your creators, so the fans aren't just subscribing to a girl, right? Like they're subscribing to somebody that they maybe trust, maybe think is funny, maybe think like you're attracted to their persona, and like honestly, if you can create that connection before the OnlyFans, like they're invested already before they even spend money, right? Like that's what creates retention. I mean, I've been implementing this heavily. Like, obviously, I've implemented with you and like the rest of the students inside of Fancher, but I've implemented this and I've seen my LTV go up like 20, 30% along with CVR, along with all these other metrics. And that what creates real revenue at the end of the day and long term, most importantly. Cool, bro. So walk everyone through how you went from 10 to 50K before you officially joined. Because I know, like I said, we were kind of doing like one-to-one consulting. You were paying me for one-to-one calls. It wasn't structured. It was just kind of like text me every once in a while. Because I think the 10 to 50K is honestly the most important part. You weren't in the program yet. We were just working, like I said, informally. What were the actual moves getting you to that 50K point?
So I think it was actually just going back to the basics, I'd say, like figuring out her identity, such as her vibe, her audience, her niche, and then, yeah, just what makes her different, And I remember you told me that fans don't pay for content, they pay for a person who they feel connected to. So that's what I think were the actual moves that make the difference for sure.
Yeah. And I think that was what fixed a lot of what you had to allow you to have that revenue ceiling kind of be eliminated for you and your agency at that point. But I think what really trajectored or I guess pointed your revenue towards closer to 50K rather than being at 10K was learning virality, like learning what makes a video go viral. Because like this is something that we covered pretty much, like I don't know if you would ever even like notice this, but every single one of our calls that we had, I would try and underline exactly what made a video go viral, like why some videos worked, why some didn't. And you just learned over amount of time. And that's what I tell everyone inside my program is like, listen, month one, you're not going to really get the words that are coming out of my mouth. But month four, and now where you're at, Barry, after working with me for now like 6, 7 months, you can see the market and videos the same way that I see it. And so that's what I think gives you like the overhead advantage of just like at the end of the day, it's just time and experience, but it's being able to look at a video and be like, this point in the video is why I got so many views, or this point in the video is why I got so many comments. And like that's something you learn. And I think you grew your creators indefinitely after like you really kind of dialed that in.
Yeah, it's just like trial and error, bro. Just learning from past mistakes and then just keep getting better and better. And then you just get a rhythm as we have now.
Exactly. I think a rhythm's a perfect way to describe that. And at 50K a month, I know that's like 2 months ago or like a month and a half ago now, but recent nonetheless. How did that feel compared to 10K per month? Because I know how I felt when I hit my first 50K.
Bro, honestly, it felt fucking great, bro. Like I called my friends on the same day. I remember we rented a yacht, and but however, like it's not all rainbows and all that. With bigger money and revenues, bigger problems and different ones arise from there. Like little cracks start coming out. So yeah, I don't know. I felt like the machine was getting too big to control. That's what I'd say.
Most definitely. And we put some stuff in place as of right now. We'll get into that to fix that. But I mean, it's kind of what I always say. The problems at 50K completely different from the problems at 10K. Like the problems, they change shape. Like what, for you at least, what was like kind of starting to break at 50K?
What's starting to break, bro? I'd say mainly, I think it was the chatting, the hiring, just overall operations. Having to manage these models was extremely time consuming, bro. And I think I didn't have the proper systems to handle the volume.
Yeah, 100%. And that's something that we implemented was putting a creative director, or not really a creative director, one of your buddies at the agency who would help you with marketing. But
Hmm.
that's the thing is like so many guys, and for any of you guys watching, you get to a point in your agency, and Barry, let me know if you would agree with this, but like you go from 10K per month where your problems is how do I make sure what I'm doing is right? Once I figure that out, it's just about volume and strategy. And then you get to a point where what you're doing is working. You have creators, maybe 3, 4, 5 creators, you're at 50, 60K per month. And then all of a sudden it's you that's not working or scaling
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
you're doing every content social, like you're doing every content plan. You're trying to implement chatters and hire and do all of this. And
It's
then
too much.
you realize you can't scale the business anymore. I think what eliminates that problem and gets you to like 100 to 200 is just having the right people handling the right
Mhm.
task. And then also
Yeah.
trying to automate the tasks that maybe previously weren't automated, like content planning or posting or things like that. Just little things that if you can eliminate, like, because like a lot of guys don't realize eliminating 3 hours of your time each and every single week, that shit compounds, bro.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
100%. And back to back to at 50K per month. Regarding the models, you had options, right? Like they're obviously like I guess I want to get into this actually. You did have options in terms of like coaches. Obviously, we were working
Right.
previously together, but you could have gone to any of these other coaches to join their
Hmm.
official program. Because I know that you were like, yo, Griffin, your coaching's great. It's got me to this point, but I kind of feel like stagnated. I want to see if I can really take it to that next level. Like you
Yeah.
could have gone to anybody. There's obviously a ton of OFM coaches. But on a real note, like, why me, bro?
Well, I mean, bro, as you know, I did have friends within the space at the moment, and I did hop on calls with them, nice guys and whatever. But I think I felt like they were all the same, like screenshots, nice hotels, look at my numbers, and when I'd actually ask a specific question, they'd be completely lost and have no clue. But I mean, I feel like you. I mean, I already heard you were the man from other people, from I think the space already know you for that. But when I have a question, you'd actually answer it and you'd go deep instead of just fucking, just circling back and shit.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's like the thing that people underestimate. Like when you're at 50K per month, you're not a beginner anymore. Like you can sniff out bullshit from other guys. You've been in this long enough to the point where you can see when somebody actually, excuse me, when you can see when somebody actually knows what they're talking about versus the
Yeah.
people that don't. And there are a lot of people in this space that don't. And yeah, like everything that you learned, you weren't just going to hand money over to anyone. Like a lot of it was about, I feel like for you at least after knowing you for so long, was about
Hmm.
like, can I see this guy genuinely helping me? Like the money
Yeah.
wasn't really the biggest thing for you. It was like, I'm just not going to hand that to somebody that I don't like. I don't really give a fuck about the price tag.
Yeah, no, that's 100% true. I'm just not gonna hand it to anyone, but I was literally genuinely about to go alone. Like I'd rather just figure it out myself than pay someone who's learned it all from YouTube. But with you, I feel like I've seen you work, so I already trusted you enough. I knew you
Yeah,
were a real guy, so that's what mainly why, to be honest.
I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate it. So you hit 50K per month. You're 18 years old. You're doing fucking great. Incredible numbers. I'm sure everyone who's watching this case, I mean, I kind of know the answer to this, but I'm sure everyone who's watching is wondering, why did you actually join Fantra? Like, what was the thing that made you say, like, okay, I need this?
All right, so that's actually a very good question. I mean, I felt like when I hit that milestone, it felt like the exact same one roadblock that I hit at 10K. I was capped, and I just needed someone within the business, like in the trenches with me, and helping me out and growing further. Because you have the experience, you've already lived it, you know exactly what would make the difference to further scale.
Okay. So it felt like you were at like a kind of position where
Yeah.
it was stuck again.
Yeah.
All right, I got you. And the month that you joined, like 30 days, fucking crazy. Well, like technically 30 days. I know that you didn't join the actual like community until like 15, 20 days in, but you
Yeah.
had the Notion resources. We were taking weekly calls already.
Yeah.
You went from 50 to $80,000
Okay.
per month, which is a $30,000 fucking jump in 30 days. For you, I think I know my answer to this, but for you, bro, like what specifically caused that?
Yeah, I haven't even processed all of that money yet, to be honest. But I'd say what made the difference was the audit, bro. You guys, Jason and Griffin, we jumped on my inflow, and I watched them just go through it, everything in real time. And I remember the same day we fixed it, the revenue spiked fucking incredibly. So I'd say the audit for sure.
Yeah. And for those of you watching, when he says audit, what we did is we went into, you
The
added us
inflow.
as an admin on your inflow. We logged into those accounts. From that point on, we went through all your mass messages. We first identified what was wrong with your chatting, and we looked at the correlation between all your personality sheets of your clients with the chatting, making sure that correlated. Second to that, we made sure that all your mass messages and your scripts were correct as far as the automation goes. And then third from that, which I think was kind of the biggest revenue saver for you, not really an increaser, but saver, was firing unnecessary chatters because you had like six
Yeah.
chatters at the time when you really only needed four.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like those four are busy as fuck. They're on big ass pages right now. But
Yeah.
I think a lot of that was about same day implementation. And after that, 80K after month one, 2 months later, now you're at 100K. Walk everyone through what got built in that window, because I think this is where people realize what the difference is between guessing and actually having a fucking plan.
Exactly. Very well said. I think it was the Miro board for me. That was the thing for me. I mean, you built this entire like visual map of my agency that I've never seen in that way. It was super clear. And I felt like every bottleneck was just visible right there on the screen, and after that, it was just, I had a clear like step by step orientation, I'd say.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know what he's talking about, we have a
Yeah.
Miro board that we share with every single student. And you've had that board for about like 2.5, 3 months now, or like maybe 2.5 max. But on that board, I mean, we have every single one of your employees with a rating next to it. We have the target revenue that we want to hit, the progress to the timeline that we want to hit that in, your current revenue, your ratios for each model. Like we have pretty much anything. And it's basic tracking.
It's very good. It's
Yeah, like
very
we
good
don't,
though.
it's not insane where we're like grabbing Instagram KPIs. I think more of it's just about like you say, having a visual is very, very important. Like a lot of guys just will never implement that. And that's why I have that for people who just don't already, like when they come into the program. Cool, bro. So on the hiring side, because 100K per month, you're definitely not doing this alone now. What did building that team actually look like?
What did building a team actually look like? Before I was just hiring and hoping they were good. Yeah. But you showed me like a real vetting process, like the proper training SOPs, such as Google Forms, and then, and also the VA we hired to the system, for example, she knew exactly what she was doing from since day one. And that was from the hiring side, that's how building the team looks like, I'd say.
Yeah. Like, to be honest, like I think you'd agree with this. A lot of guys make it so much more complicated than it needs to be.
It is, bro.
And like you
100%.
were
And
doing,
I think they just get confused in the same trap, and then they start asking so many questions, and they're not just, you know, they don't have a clear idea of what they're doing actually.
exactly. And like that comes from like not having a clear idea of what their agency looks like. Like all we do is kind of like pieces to a puzzle to make one clear map of an
Yes.
agency. Cool. So on the creator side, on the other side, you're at 4 creators right now. One doing 50K per month on her own, like responsible for pretty much 50%. How do you think about managing and scaling like each one differently? Like in terms of what I'm kind of
Yeah.
saying is like, do you take one very high? Do you take them all at one point? Like, how do you think about managing and scaling each one of the creators?
Yeah. Well, I think each creator has their own little world, I think behind it, there's like multiple, what goes behind, there's actually a lot of individual strategy going on, as we've already talked about. For example, I don't know, we put just paid promos on top of organic content so we don't panic every time the algorithm does some weird shit.
Hmm.
That's what I'd say.
Yeah, 100%. And in terms of like, because I think this is the problem for a lot of guys is like, at least what I've seen recently, I've been getting on calls with like so many people and they're like, yo, Griffin, my agency's at 20K per month, but they have like
Mhm.
9 creators all at like 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like
That's
just
hilarious,
a,
bro.
a bunch of creators hella low. So like for you, is it pretty important in terms of like getting each one? Like what I do at least is I put all my focus into a creator until they get to a certain number, and then I do that same for the next creator.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
and I feel like that's what I've implemented in you as well.
Yes, basically exactly the same. You know, right now, I get one model and I'll just try to max it out as much as possible, and then from there, when I feel ready and I have time enough to do it, I'll just move on to the next one.
Yeah. 100.
If you start like DMing too much and then signing too many, you just get lost and it you don't win in any way. I think people who actually do it realize immediately.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, your camera's frozen. Yeah.
That's not possible, bro. I see myself.
Do you see yourself? Maybe turn off your camera and turn it back on.
Okay.
Perfect. Fixed. Anyways, like we were talking about with like hiring creators and whatnot, I feel like that's a mature like way to run an agency. If I could, like
Yes.
most people never even get to that point, but like once you're there, what got you there is organic, right? Paid promos is what's going to keep you there. And most guys at 50K per month, like for them, they're to say it in like a very simple way, they're one bad algorithm month away from losing everything. Whether either because A, they don't have a brand for their clients, or
Mhm.
B, they've been relying on something that's been working for the past like X amount of time, but they're not prepping for like social media actually changing and shifting. For you, you're not, because over the course of the time, I know you have real infrastructure in place,
It's
which
it's
is
it's
amazing.
easy to adapt. It's easy to adapt.
Yeah, 100%. We've left that open. We've left that door open for adaptation.
Hmm. Yeah.
Cool. So to recap, you're 18, 100K a month. You travel a fuck ton. You've been to Thailand, Mykonos, St. Moritz. Like, bro, what is the actual day to day life right now in terms of like how do you
Yeah.
balance agency life with
Hmm.
travel and your personal life? Like,
Yeah.
what does that look like?
Well, yeah, there's actually a huge contrast from 50 to 100K. You know, it's actually a great question. Like, bro, for example, I was in Thailand last month and I was sitting by the pool and my phone wasn't blowing up and like nobody needed me because the team already handled it. And I remember thinking a year ago, I could not have done this, you know, like a year ago, stepping away for a day felt like a risk, you know. But
Hmm.
now I'm halfway across the world and the numbers are still going up. And I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming up. Mykonos and Moritz, Dubai, and I'm going to Japan in a week. So I mean, it's going great. Honestly, it's going great.
100%, bro. And we got a little Greece trip lined up sooner or later.
Yes,
That's
yes,
going to be
yes, yes.
100%.
Greece in June. I mean, that's how you can tell it's business is going good.
100%, bro. So, like, I think to comment on that, I think that's a very important thing that like a lot of guys just kind of brush over is that this isn't some lucky month. Like what you guys are watching is a guy with a real infrastructure, real creators, real system. The money is real because the business is real. Like that's the difference between everything, which is,
Yeah,
at the end of the day, congratulations to you, man.
thank you. So to you.
Last thing here,
Hmm.
who's watching this right now that you want to speak to, whether like somebody with a specific problem that you had when you're starting out, like if there's a guy at 10, 15, 20K watching this, what would you actually want to say to them?
So, oh my God, that's a okay. So I think what I'd say is what's holding you back isn't your work ethic; it's the model. I was one of the hardest workers I know, and I still wasn't moving. And the second model just changed everything, you know. And
Mhm.
don't wait on it. I wasted months thinking I could solve it alone, but every one of these months cost me, you know, indirectly. At the end of the day, you're paying
Yeah.
for the wait, whether you feel it or not. So I think that is what I'd say.
Yeah. I mean, like fixing the model thing is huge. Now,
Yeah.
I do want to say, just because like a lot of guys, sometimes the problem, I will say more commonly than not, it is kind of like underlying the model. But in your opinion, Barry, like with a guy that has a good model, right? And also has a, my cat's going crazy, and also has a good work ethic, like what would you say like is something that's holding it back? Like, would you say it's more of the you're spending too much time not scaling the agency instead of being in it? Like, based off your experience, like once we did solve the model problem, like what would you
Mhm.
say is like, a reason why guys get stuck?
So I think the main issue people get stuck on is just planning too much and not actually doing shit. So you gotta learn hands on, bro. I wasted so much time preparing and learning, you actually
Mhm.
learn by climbing the tree, you gotta, or going in the water, you gotta actually do something to fucking learn. If not, you're all the planning, you can study how to swim, but you're not gonna learn how to swim until you get in the fucking water. So that's
I
how I put it.
100% agree with that. Yeah, that's very accurate for this industry as well.
Yeah.
Cool, bro. So you were already doing 10K per month when we connected. You weren't a
Mhm.
beginner. You weren't broke. You honestly, in my opinion, just needed the right systems and a creator who would actually work with you, and also somebody who would get inside of your agency and build the business with you. That's
Yes.
what Fantra does. That's what I built this entire consulting firm for. And 2 months later, after or really 6 months after working with you behind the scenes, 2 months later after joining inside of Fantra, you're now at 100K per month at 18 years old. That's not luck. That's what happens when you stop guessing. You started building the right systems in place. Um, and yeah, I got nothing but good shit to say about you, bro. I'm extremely proud of you, and I appreciate you. And yeah, I think the way to end this off is I think the next case study, next time we meet up, let's get you to 150K, bro.
Bro, 100%, bro. I appreciate you. I hope we do.
100%,
150K
dog.
next. Let's go.
Most definitely. All right, G. Well, I appreciate for your time. I'll let you go, and yeah, man. Speak soon. I'll talk to you later.
Have a good day, brother. Speak to you.
Peace out, bro. All right, boys. So that was Barry's entire story. Once again, congratulations to my brother. This guy's honestly one of the most impressive cats that I know, going from 10 to 100K. I've seen the entire timeline. So once again, hats off to you, Barry. But if you guys are watching this video and you are stuck at 10, 15, 20, 30, even $50,000 per month, I wanted to do something exclusive and very private for you guys, because I know that this industry is taking an entire shift from being a industry where it's beginner people, it's agency owners not making money or less than $10,000 per month, and for the agencies actually making money and doing this like a real business. There's not a space for them. There's not a community, there's not really anything. And so that's what I wanted to create. Is I have created something called Fantra Elite, which is a private, exclusive, completely free Telegram community that I'm going to leave linked down in the description. And if you're at any of those metric points, 10, 20, 30, whatever it is, I want you to click that link down in the description and join up inside of there for completely free. It is going to be a space where we can communicate. I'm going to be dropping free value. I'm going to be giving exclusive offers inside of there as well, not only for help, consulting, etc., but also for offers within you guys for networking purposes, traveling. There's going to be so much shit dropping inside of that Telegram channel. So if you're watching this right now and you're making money with OFM and you're taking it seriously like a real business model, make sure you join in the description. But other than that, boys, I appreciate you watching this one. And yeah, I will catch y'all in the next video. Peace out.